The tomb of Tutankhamun was surprisingly small. After a short descending corridor, only 3 small rooms surrounded the burial chamber. In total, the tomb covered barely 100 square meters. In 1922, Howard Carter and his Egyptian workforce discovered the first steps leading down to the entrance. At the bottom stood a doorway sealed with limestone and plaster. After cutting a small hole, Carter saw the passage beyond filled with rubble. The workers then opened the sealed doorway and began clearing the corridor. Once the debris had been removed, the excavators reached another sealed doorway. Joined by Lord Carnarvon, Lady Evelyn Herbert and Arthur Callender, Carter then made a small opening through the sealed door. As the light of his candle entered the darkness, gold reflected everywhere. The team stepped into the antechamber, where hundreds of objects were stacked tightly together. A smaller room carved into the western wall, called the Annex, was also filled with artifacts. But there was no sarcophagus and no mummy. That was when Carter noticed traces of another sealed doorway hidden within a wall. Behind it lay the pharaoh's burial chamber. Carter made another narrow opening to reach it. Unlike the antechamber, the walls here were covered with painted scenes and religious frescoes. Most of the room was occupied by a series of gilded shrines surrounding Tutankhamun's sarcophagus. At the eastern end of the chamber stood another open doorway, leading to a 4th room known as the treasury. In total, it took Carter nearly 10 years to remove and document all the treasures from the tomb. Tutankhamun's burial chamber was positioned 26 feet underground and protected by multiple internal defenses. First, a wall sealed the king's resting place, while another blocked access to the antechamber. The access corridor was then clogged with tons of rubble. A final doorway, stamped with the pharaoh's seal, was closed, and the entire tomb was buried beneath layers of rock and earth. Yet, when Howard Carter uncovered the site in 1922, it was covered by more debris than any other tomb in the valley. But how did so much additional rock accumulate? When heavy rains fell on the surrounding hills, torrents of water rushed down into the valley, carrying rocks and mud. Combined with stone chippings from a later tomb constructed above it, the entrance disappeared beneath, unintentionally safeguarding one of history's greatest archaeological discoveries. Sealed for over 3,000 years, Tutankhamun's tomb held more than 5,000 artifacts, the greatest collection ever found in Egypt. Packed into 4 chambers, there was everything the young pharaoh might need in the afterlife, from his throne and chariots to clothes, games and provisions. Behind a false wall, they found a stone sarcophagus. Inside it, not 1, but 3 coffins nested together. The innermost was made of solid gold, inlaid with precious stones. And within it rested the mummified body of the king himself, his face covered by a magnificent golden mask, an image that would become the very symbol of ancient Egypt's glory and the greatest archaeological discovery of the 20th century. Surrounding the sarcophagus were 4 gilded wooden shrines, each fitting perfectly inside the next. They filled the burial chamber entirely, the only room in the tomb to be decorated. Tomb robbing was a serious problem in ancient Egypt. To break into the tombs, robbers took advantage of the darkness while the necropolis guards were on night watch. They would then dig tunnels through the rubble and force their way into the burial chamber, breaking through sealed stone doors. More recent tombs sometimes included deep shafts, up to 5 meters down, designed to stop intruders, but robbers simply smashed through the blocked entrances and lowered themselves with rope ladders. Once inside, they took everything they could. To recover the thin sheets of gold covering many objects, they sometimes set fire to the burial chamber. More exposed sites were easier targets, and guards were sometimes bribed to reveal hidden entrances. No matter how complex the protective systems were, tomb robbers eventually found ways around them. Driven by greed, some even damaged the mummies to recover every valuable object. The tomb of Tutankhamun was robbed twice, long before its rediscovery in 1922. Within just a few years of his burial, thieves broke into the antechamber, stole several objects, and escaped without being caught. After this first intrusion, officials repaired the damage and tried to secure the tomb by sealing the entrance corridor with rubble. But this was not enough. A second group of robbers managed to break in again, digging their way through the blocked passage. Experts believe it may have taken them several hours to reach the king's treasure. This time, however, they were caught in the act. Their loot was returned, and the tomb was restored and sealed once again. Over time, the entrance became buried beneath the debris of another tomb, allowing it to remain hidden for thousands of years. When Howard Carter discovered it in 1922, he noticed that the first sealed doorway had been broken through and repaired. Inside, clear traces of the robberies remained.